Today I'm making my way to what people consider as the best Via Ferrata in the Italian Dolomites, Ivano Dibona. Welcome to the first episode of a new series that I'm doing, where I'm rating the best Via Ferratas in the Italian Dolomites. After asking around in different communities, I made a list of what people's favorite Via Ferratas were, and Ivano Dibona was by far the most popular. At the end of this video I'll give it a score and see how it compares to the rest. This lift was first opened in 1956 for the Winter Olympics in Cortina, but sadly it was closed in 2016, and as a result everyone has to do that massive scree field behind me, which is 700 meters. One positive though, because you have to climb that thing, a lot of people don't bother anymore, and this Via Ferrata is a lot quieter now. My heart rate is through the roof, and I would still much rather do this on the way up than on the way down. That's the top of the cable car. It took me, I think, an hour and 45 minutes, and it literally feels like I climbed the mountain like I'm already there. It feels quite sketchy walking on these floorboards of this refuge. No doubt this was left abandoned when that cable car stopped working, because you can't, or it's very difficult to resupply these things, but it's a shame because it is such a beautiful spot. All of this is pretty old. Damn. Looks like that's the start. My god. I wonder how many more years this thing has. Sentiero Ferrata Ivano Dibona. I wonder if that was Ivano Dibona. The rock here is crazy polished. Told you. Wow, we're entering our first World War I tunnel. Hello, Ponte Cristallo. This is the famous bridge. Missing a few planks here and there. These boards feel so thin. So this bridge is from the Cliffhanger movie. It's probably also part of the reason this Via Ferrata was so popular back in the day. This is awesome. Wasn't expecting to descend. It looks like the route goes through there and then around. Wow. Look at these old things. Do you think they were reinforced so they could shoot through here potentially? Wow. When I was camping last night, it was so peaceful. And I just had this thought. I was like, I find it crazy to imagine that in this beautiful, calm area, you had battles fought. Aggressive, violent World War I battles were fought in these mountains. And here I am just like hiking through calmly. But you can imagine what must have been like. So these are old officer headquarters. Wow. 100 years old. At 3,000 meters high. It's all derelict. Need to be careful with the nails here as well. Tell you what, if my dad would be here, he would start rummaging in that pile of wood to try to find some artifacts or some bullets or something. I think that's Cortina down there, which is absolutely heaving in August. I think this is the last small summit for the day. Cima! Benvenuti! 2,900 meter summit. Viv would love this view. And the route. Actually, I don't think she probably wouldn't love that cloud that's coming in now very fast. Since the last mission that you've seen her, she's been struggling really hard with her hip again. And she's trying to rehab for some bigger mountains that we have coming up in October actually, November. But it sucks doing this without her. Like it's not the same joy. And then I get back to her and she's like, how was it? Yeah. this thing looks more like a shelter. It looks quite modern. Oh, this is like a little shelter in here. Damn. Italian flag in the corner. Some books. This is very well put together.
In kaj ti to daješ? To je ful dobro, res se nisem to spomnila.
Man, I really love these rock formations in the Dolomites. Drum roll. Let's see what we're gonna rate this Via Ferrata. So I'm doing 4 categories that I'm gonna judge it on. History, so if there was a battle there, if it has any sort of World War I elements like tunnels, stuff like that. I'm gonna rate it on views, enjoyment / how fun it was, and difficulty. And to mention with difficulty, hardest is best. 4 categories in total, a max of 5 points on each category. In terms of history, I'm rating it a 4. Top for me was Giovanni Di Pella because it had a story with the tunnels and the battle that happened there. But this one, 4 because it has so many elements. It had tunnels, it had old barracks and a lot of ruins along the way. It's awesome. Views. Now I was trying to think if I'm gonna give it a 3.5 or a 4 in terms of views, because I didn't really have that oh my god moment when I got to the summit, but at the same time I didn't really sleep last night, so I don't think that so that's no fault to the Via Ferrata. I'm gonna give it a 4. Enjoyment / fun, solid 3.5. I would have given it a 4, but the scree, the 700 meters going up, was a massive slog, and it was almost the same coming down. So the Via Ferrata itself is awesome, but you have to do quite a lot of work on it. And last on the list, difficulty. I'm giving it a 2 for difficulty, because I'm thinking mainly about the Via Ferrata itself. If you have a decent level of fitness and if you don't really have any fear of heights, it's easy. It's more that slow coming up and down, but that's not the fun type of difficulty that you really want in a Via Ferrata. I feel like I use my legs 95%, like no upper body whatsoever. Total score 13.5. Tomorrow I'm doing 2 very difficult Via Ferratas, Olivieri and Aglio. This is probably going to be some of the most challenging climbing and a good opportunity to bag the summit of Punta Ana.